Well, I am looking, I'm searching, I've found near the ground my soul, myself, beneath this trail.
Hey friends, welcome to my bathroom. I'm doing a video on something that's not frequently talked about. Um, at least when I was looking about through hiking, it was hard to find information on how you exactly deal with bathroom things on trail, and it is one of the questions I regularly get as a through hiker. People are always wondering, how exactly does this work? And I know that I've very rarely, if ever, discussed how exactly I handle bathroom things on the trail. So, to discuss bathroom things, we're in my bathroom. Anyhow, this is what my main potty kit looks like. I choose to carry wet wipes instead of toilet paper um, for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's durable and it can be multi-use. So I can use the wet wipes to also wipe down things in my pack or other supplies. I can use it to try to wipe down my hands if they're especially filthy or gross or nasty, any of that kind of stuff. Um, and and it's more efficient when you poop to make sure that everything is clean if you're using a wet wipe versus hello dog. This is my dog. Well, one of my dogs. Um, anyhow, make sure you're more efficient at being clean versus using a lot of toilet paper. And for me, it's easier to pack out. Um, also, I have another Ziploc bag that's empty right now. I do pack out everything, including poopy toilet paper or poopy wet wipes. So those will go in this Ziploc, and it's all contained in a Ziploc. Um, the other thing I use is the wet wipes are mainly just for poop. If I'm just peeing, I'll use a pee rag. This is a Kula cloth. They make really excellent pee rags, I've heard. I've actually never tried it, but a dear friend of mine bought me this one at PCT days. Typically, I just use a bandana as my pee rag, but this year I will be going with a Kula cloth, and it has a little thing that I can just pack it. I can hook it onto my pack, and so you pee, you wipe, and you hook it onto the top of your pack so that the sun can work its magic and you're not always dealing with a wet, stinky pee rag. So, urine, I always use my pee cloth. Poop, I'll use a wet wipe, and then throw the dirty wet wipe into a Ziploc. The other thing I do is I do carry a few tampons just in case. My cycle is pretty regular off trail, on trail. It really depends. Um, in best case scenario, I will get enough warning that my cycle is coming and I can pick up more supplies in a town. But I do carry two tampons just in case I'm caught while I'm off trail. Um, I know a lot of this is going to be TMI, but hey, you guys asked for it, and if you're still watching, you want to know. So, um, I said the wet wipes were multi-use also. If I am stuck out on trail and my cycle arrives, and these two tampons that I'm carrying are not going to last me, I have in the past. It is possible to roll up a wet wipe and use that in place of a tampon. Um, I know it sucks, but it works, and such is trail life, I guess. Um, a lot of people will use a spade, a deuce. Um, Basically, it's like a shithole shovel. And proper etiquette is that you dig at least a 6-inch hole, poop, and then cover it back up with the dirt. I, I don't carry a shovel. Um, it's I don't know. Number one, the weight. Number two, I found myself very rarely using it. Usually, your trekking pole or a nearby stick or a nearby rock is sufficient to dig a deep enough hole. 6 inches. I don't know that every hole I've dug has been 6 inches. Um, Sometimes you can. I know. Again, TMI. This is going to sound crazy. You guys are laughing and shaking your heads at me right now. I know it. Anyhow, I'm just putting it out there in all honesty. This is how this works. So sometimes you can find a natural formation that works as a toilet, kind of. And this could be like, if you could imagine, like two rocks that are very close to each other, like too close for you to walk between the rocks, but far enough apart for you to use it as a toilet. Um, every once in a while, you'll be blessed with one of those, or a log, or a natural toilet formation where you can use it and not worry about hikers getting in, actually accidentally stepping in it or sitting in it or whatever. Poop is it's an etiquette thing on trail. You think of all the hikers that are out there, and we're all using the bathroom when a bathroom doesn't exist. So a lot of it is just respect for the environment, respect for your other hikers. Um, Trail etiquette is also that you go far enough off trail. Hopefully, there's bushes, or you're in a forest and you can duck behind a tree. If you're in the desert, you can duck behind a boulder. Be somewhat private about your business. But I'll tell you, there's always going to be that time you're in the middle of a 5 mile ridge hike and there's nowhere to go. And you're going to find your butt hanging off the side of this mountain. And as soon as you do, a hiker's going to come around the corner. Um, it'll happen. It's happened. And usually it's not really a big deal. We're used to it. We all know everybody else is going out there too. Um, so that's a common thing. Yeah, so you always want to kind of get off trail and do your business. And sometimes people leave their pack right there on trail and go off. So hikers are aware, oh, look, there's a pack. There's somebody out there doing something. Um, Sometimes they'll take their pack with them. It just depends. You do what you have to do with respect in mind. The other thing that I think I may be kind of unique in this situation. Um, I don't know. I got the tip from a friend a fellow through hiker that I met once, she would pack a can of chili or a can of soup out, and her first night out on trail, she would use that for dinner. And then after she ate it, she kept her can. I've had 7 children, so my bladder is abused, I guess is the word for it. So I'm often getting up in the middle of the night to pee, and that, like, if you have to get up and pee and get out of your tent and pee and get back in your tent, get back comfortable, oftentimes that'll wake me enough that I won't be able to go back to sleep for quite a while. So when this friend told me that she uses her pee can, I found a pee cup. And basically, if I have to pee in the middle of the night, I just get out of my sleeping bag and pee into my cup. And then I'll lean out my vestibule, and depending on the terrain we're in, sometimes I'll dump it, sometimes I'll just let it sit out there, which once was an open invitation for a deer to come and thought it was his, snack bowl or something, whatever. But so yeah, I do use a pee cup, and I pee in it at night in my tent, and then I'll set my pee cup outside my vestibule or dump it outside my vestibule, and then I can go right back to sleep. So I know, this was way more information than you asked for, but there you have it. That is how I deal with bathroom issues on trail. And if you have any questions or want further information, go ahead and hit me up, and I'll try to answer those for you. I love you guys dearly. See you in a couple days on the trail. Bye. Hey y'all, I decided to add another section of this video because I had a friend review the video just to make sure it was good or whatever. And she brought up 2 questions that I've sometimes been asked that I had forgotten to talk about, especially in regards to female hikers on the trail. Let's just face it, men have it way easier when it comes to peeing on trail. That's just the facts. So females, why do I not use a Shiwi? For those of you who aren't familiar, they've come up with these devices that kind of like a cup attached to a tube, and you are supposed to be able to pee into this cup while standing with your clothes on, and the tube directs it far enough away from you. I took one out in 2018, and I could not for the life of me figure out how to not pee on myself. So I ditched that shiwi real quick. You just got to perfect the squat. A lot of it is just the squat. You're squatting. And yeah, the wind's going to come, and the wind is going to blow your urine on your shoes, maybe on your pant legs. That's just trail life. But yeah, the squat is, that's just how it goes. That's also one of the reasons I do wear a hiking skirt on top of my pants. So if I am squatting and I am not in a discrete location, my pants can be down and yet my skirt can still be covering my bum. So another reason I wear my hiking skirt. Another question that they suggested that I address. They also have these things on the market that are cups, like a Luna cup, or they go by a bunch of different names. But basically, it's a cup that you would insert that would catch all the menstrual flow. I choose to stick with tampons instead of a cup just because of the convenience and the hygiene. I mean, the cup is nice in that you can wash it out and clean it, and you don't have to pack it out. Because let's face it, packing out used tampons is not pleasant. I typically will wrap them up in a wet wipe, so they're a little easier to look at, I guess. But yeah, the cup is easier in that respect, that you don't have to carry out the used tampons. But the hygienic really gets me because, you're inserting this into your body and you're reusing it over and over again. And trail is just not the most hygienic place on earth. In fact, it's probably one of the least hygienic places on earth. And then you're also using water, and you would want to use filtered water. So you're taking water from your drink supply and making sure you're carrying enough water that you can take care of that issue also. And I just doubt that it ever really gets super clean. And the thought of putting something not super clean into my body is, I guess I just can't seem to wrap my brain around that being okay. So it's a personal preference. And a lot of other hikers use the shiwis or they use the cups, and it works for them. For me, I squat and I use tampons. So I hope that answers those two questions. And hopefully I've covered all the questions, but if there are more bathroom questions out there, I'll be happy to answer them. Bye.
There's no other place I'd rather be. Can't you see me out here walking in the rain and hail?